Hey everybody, it's Birdie with Feed the Birdies, and I'm a little late to the party again, but I have my book going and I thought I'd at least show you the cover and show you the signatures. I haven't put it together yet, and I still have a few things that I want to add to it, but this is for Paper Terrace's Dollar Tree Junk Journal Challenge, and I showed you what I got last week. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave the link down below. But what I did was take the cover off of the larger notebook that I bought, and then I also used it on the back here. So I split it in half, pulled the paper out, of course, and then I used the Dollar Tree construction paper behind here. And then this is the smaller cover of the list pad that was also in this series. And I stitched it on top of the construction paper, and that's one of the things that Jess has taught me that makes such a huge difference in the way that your pages look and the way your covers look is the stitching. And I used black because of the outline of the line drawings for the Diet Coke cans, and I thought it would stand out more. And I need a Diet Coke is something I say all the time. I always have Diet Coke in my Stanley cup, so you know, that's just how it goes. It keeps me going every day. This is scrapbook paper that I used, and I'm trying to remember. It's one of the older, old school ones. In fact, I've got some October Afternoon and Sassafras Lass. If you remember those brands, those are coming up in my journal. This is a piece of ribbon that I had on hand. And then for the spine, I used a red and white polka dot bag that's actually Hallmark, and I picked them up at Walmart in the Christmas clearance a couple years ago, and I bought a whole bunch of them because I love the lunch sacks that are decorated like this. And so I actually reinforced that with a brown paper bag, and I glued the two of those together. And then I clipped them around a roll of wrapping paper so I could have a curved spine. And I think it turned out pretty good. I was a little nervous because I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, but I've seen other creators do this on their books and thought, I'm going to try that, see what happens. And it glued really nicely, and it also curved really nicely just being clipped around wrapping paper. Then on the inside, this is one of the greeting cards. Hopefully you guys can see it. One of the greeting cards that I got from the Dollar Tree. I love this horse because it looks like Kate's horse Honey Pot, and it just cracks me up because she is a diva like this. So it still opens up. I'm going to cover this. I may not cover the Instagram filters, but I'm going to cover the Happy Birthday Beautiful with something else. And then I think I'm going to put some trim along this edge here. And then behind it, I don't know if you guys remember Jenny Allsorts, but she had a bunch of digital papers that you could print off, and I printed a bunch on sticker paper a long time ago, and I found them in my stash, and I thought I'm going to use that for the inside because it matches and it's really cute. So this is one of her papers, and I apologize, I do not know the name of the set, but I'm sure if you search Jenny Allsorts on Google, you'll be able to find her website, or at least a place where you can get her papers. And they're not very expensive, I don't believe. And then on the other side, this is another Jenny Allsorts paper. And I actually put this one on crooked when I peeled the back off and stuck it to the back. So I used a piece from the other side and made a little trim down here at the bottom. And I thought, oh, that'll hide that part of the book. And then this is still the paper bag. And you can see where I have my markings that I'm going to put my signatures in with. And then the very back is the back cover of that notebook. And I'm going to cover this up too. Okay, then for the signatures, I kind of went out of the instructions just a tad. I didn't add a whole lot that I already had, and I did add quite a bit of what I got from the Dollar Tree, but this is the same scrapbook paper page that was on the front cover that I used as a mat for the I Need a Diet Coke. And so here's the opposite side of that. This is tissue paper that I got from the Dollar Tree in the pack that I showed in the video. And doesn't this look like a Hallmark card? Right? This looks like an envelope for one of Hallmark's, maybe Shoebox or Good Mail or Just Good Mail, I think is what it's called. It looks like they're envelopes to me, but I think it's really cute. This is a page from that notepad of really bright colored paper, and I just folded it to catch the front, so maybe I can hide something behind here. I haven't made any pockets or anything yet, you guys, except for the envelopes from the cards. This is construction paper. And then I got that Remind magazine that had all the 90s, 80s and 90s trivia stuff in it. And I started with those, and I just loved these. It's so funny. So you got Full House, and then there are some puzzles on the other side. And then here's another greeting card that I picked up, which I think is hilarious. Then this is from one of the Spotted books. If you've never looked at those before, you should pull those at the Dollar Tree and look at the images. They got really cute things in there. And here's the other side. This is a page from the large Diet Coke notebook. And it's lined, and I know it's going the opposite direction, but I use fountain pens a lot, and so I turn my journals this way a lot to write, especially in my traveler's notebook, and so it's going to be just fine for me. And then I've got the other side to write too. Then this is the envelope from the card on the front, so I do have a ready-made pocket there, and another piece of construction paper. This is Hobby Lobby scrapbook paper I got last year probably, but I love that it looks like an end paper for a book, but it's kind of also got that neon tie-dye look too. And I'm going to cover this with book pages or something, haven't decided. This is construction paper from the Dollar Tree. And then this is a cardstock printable. I have always loved this. And I know it's a little fancy for the book that I'm making, but it's fancy in a good way because it's kind of bougie. And it really brings out my personality. How I love pretty things, but I like to be sassy and silly too. So I put that in there. So, and then the rest are just the other side. And I hand cut the little scallops, kind of like how Elsie used to do on A Beautiful Mess. I'm bringing back a lot of nostalgia to this journal because I think it's fun. Okay, and then on the next one, here's another greeting card that I found. You can see where I've marked where I'm gonna put my holes and stitch my signatures in. And I thought this was super cute. A, because I love pencils, and B, because you can't get more 80s and 90s than a cassette tape that you stuck the pencil in to rewind. Then another Diet Coke paper, construction paper. This is also from the Spotted book, and I love this. Save time, get a mailbox. Cracks me up. Really funny. And then here's the other side, which the colors of the candy match really well. Then this is a piece of old lined paper that came out of one of those Mead writing pads that you used to get. I used to go to Gibson's with my grandma, and we would get writing pads and pencils and pens. She'd let me and my brother pick out stuff, and I know I've told you guys before, but I made a beeline for the office supplies every single time, even when I was little. And then here's another piece from that bright colored notepad, and this is from the Remind magazine for the 80s and 90s, of course, with the Simpsons. It talks about different strokes and all different kinds of Knots Landing, Dynasty, Dallas, all those shows we used to watch. I used to watch The Love Boat and Fantasy Island. What a throwback. Then here are a few more. Sorry about that. Here's the other side of that page, the 70s, which is when I was born. And then this is another piece of Hobby Lobby paper. I don't know if they still have this or not, but they might. It's the 8.5 by 11 size. Then there's this, the Howard Johnson's Hotel. I have a lot of old hotel postcards, and I think I have a Howard Johnson's menu, and I'm going to try to incorporate that in there. I told you guys I have a hard time keeping the vintage out of it, and yeah, I'm still having a hard time. This is construction paper, another bright piece of paper. This is from the Mead writing pad that I had. And then there's the rest of that one. And I'm going to add a few more pages. Like I said, I have some Sassafras Lass scrapbook paper and some October afternoon paper that I'm going to add to this center signature because it doesn't have enough pages. Here's one more piece of the Hobby Lobby paper, the bright paper, the spotted book. Then this is the other side of an envelope for the cat card. And then I did the bright paper again with another piece from the Remind magazine. Construction paper, spotted, the bright paper, and then the Diet Coke lined paper. And then more construction paper. This time I turned the lined paper face up, so it would be like a short, like list size on this side and on the inside. And then here's the family ties and more reminders of those shows that we used to watch. And then the rest, of course, in this one. And I'm going to add a few more pages to this one because both of these last two signatures don't have as many pages as the first one did. I know some of you guys are putting in one signature. And by the way, y'all are making the cutest books. I have seen so many cute hauls from Dollar Tree on YouTube, and then also books that I've seen on YouTube that you guys are making, and they're turning out so cute. And I love that they're all so different and we've all put a piece of ourselves in them because that's what this is about. Anyway, so it all fits in here, and these are a little short. However, I think once I add the trim and everything to the edges of the pages, like I'm going to add some bulletin board border to them, and I've got some lace, and then I've got just some scraps that are going to go on the edge of some of these pages. It'll come all the way to the end, and I think that's going to be okay. But I like a chunky book, and so hopefully you can see. Oh, I'm way out of frame. I am so sorry. Hopefully you can see the inside of there. It doesn't look like much now, but it will be when I get done. But anyway, there is the book, and there are the 3 signatures, and I will update you when I get the rest of it finished. One more thing I wanted to show you guys that I pulled out of my stash to list on my Etsy shop that I wanted you to see. It's a big surprise. These are so expensive on eBay. I came across an entire stack, and we're talking stack, of the Arrow Book Club news, and these are actually the book fair order forms. Remember when your teacher would give you these to order your books? And these are from 1971, March of 1971. So they have both sides. There's a Marguerite Henry book. They have the order form there. These are a little bit older than me as a book ordering person. And then here's the back with the sale on the back. Remember, they'd always have books that were marked down. There's another Marguerite Henry book, King of the Wind. But I just listed these in my shop, and you get the book flyer, and you also get a sheet of coupons to go with it. And these are the coupons that came with the flyers themselves that your teacher would hand out. So you would have a coupon to get free books. And remember, you could order for your teacher and get her free books too. So however many we ordered was how many free books she was able to get. So I'm so excited about these. I love them. They're very brittle. You're going to have to back them when you use them. Or you're going to have to laminate them maybe, or maybe use a little bit of Mod Podge to make them a little bit hardier than they were, because you can fold them, but you can see that the edges are still really fragile. So I think they've been in the heat a little too long. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to let you go so I can get some orders packed. Shipping's still running a little bit behind, but we're getting there, guys. We're almost there. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.